Hi guys, Mrs. Smith here again with your weekly guidance lesson. So I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about how do you connect with friends when you're stuck inside, because you can't see your friends at school, obviously. You're not seeing your friends when you're playing sports. I know a lot of you look forward to like the spring sports that happen, and that's a great way to connect with your friends. And you can't have them over to play, and you can't go over to their house. So I'm finding kids are struggling a little bit making connections with their friends. And sometimes it's just because it's hard to talk over a Zoom conference call or FaceTime or on the phone. And that can make some kids feel kind of uncomfortable to have to kind of carry that conversation for a long time. And so I find a lot of times kids will connect with others on video games because you guys are playing a video. But I know it's not good for kids to be doing video games all day. And I was trying to help you guys think of some other ways of connecting with each other that might not involve video games. Even though I think some video games are fine, just can't do it all the time. All right, so below my video today is a list of a bunch of different games that you can play online with your friends. And I figured these out just by trying to get creative. You honestly could play any kind of board game as long as your friend had the same board game, or you could have one person with a board game and your video, you can move your camera so both people could see the board game and one person could just be moving the pieces and rolling the dice, etc. So some games I think that would be possible to do. A great idea one of my little friends had was they're playing a big battleship competition with a couple of their friends, which is kind of fun because Battleship, of course, they both have the game Battleship and they're playing it. So I think playing games together is a really great idea. And there's also a bunch of other games that don't involve board games that you guys can play and get creative doing. One of the greatest ideas that I've heard so far, which I know is a little bit like school, but there's a lot of you guys that really love creating stories and writing stories and actually doing art. So I have this group of friends, they're actually in the 5th grade, where they are creating a story together. It sounds like where one person is, writing a piece of the story and sending it on to the next person, and then that person adds to the story. So in the end, it's going to be kind of one big compilation of different ideas, and they're kind of working together. And then one of the other people in the group enjoys art, doesn't enjoy writing as much, so they are actually doing the art part of it. So that's an idea that you can do with friends. I think the other idea is to actually write letters to each other. I mean, become kind of pen pals. And I mean letters that you write and you put in an envelope and put in the mailbox. It's actually super fun to get mail, don't you think? I do. I think it's actually kind of fun. So below, make sure you check out all the games and all the ideas I have on what to do, what to talk about when you're on the phone, when you're Zooming with some of your friends, so you feel like you can connect with them. So I have a bunch of tips for games. The other thing that I would recommend you doing is schedule time with friends. Make a time. I've got a bunch of kids that do lunch together. I have a bunch of kids that every day talk by Zoom at 3 o'clock. One of my friends in 5th grade, Sophie, she's letting me use her name, she and her friends had a great idea by having a virtual sleepover, which was actually really fun. They picked a movie that they were going to watch. They picked games ahead of time and they watched the movie together. They ate popcorn together because they all wanted to be eating the same thing. And they sort of hung out together for several hours over her iPad in a video iChat. And I thought that was a fantastic idea. That's really being flexible. She said it was super fun. Not as fun as doing it in person, of course, but I actually thought that was a great idea. All right, so try some of the tips below, and I'm really encourage you to make sure you're connecting with friends, because friends can really keep us going in times when it's kind of hard. I know I need my friends right now more than ever to kind of hang out with, to talk to about how I'm feeling, honestly, to just laugh, right? It's really important right now that we laugh as much as we possibly can. And I don't know about you, but that's what I do most of the time with my friends, is I just laugh. And that's what makes them such awesome friends. Okay? So check out below some of the ideas I have for what you can do over Zoom to connect with friends. See you next week.